told you we didn't need to do that. You fucking. All right. Well, there's no editing done today. We've done enough setup already. What's going on, everybody? My name is Jeremiah Red. This is the Basura Triangle podcast. As you can see, well, you can't see. This is audio only. We had some more technical difficulties. We're actually not at Corky's, Temple's, number one home destination for entertainment and whatnot. We are at the Casa de Basura, a.k.a. my house. Sitting across from me is Mr. Gary Sprague.
What's up? This has been a 2-hour process of watching you be completely frustrated.
Yeah, that's entertainment in and of itself. Maybe when we get a Patreon, there'll just be videos and clips of me just raging out due to equipment issues. So we decided to go ahead and move forward with this to kind of preach to the masses. If you're thinking about getting into podcasting...
Don't.
Yeah, don't. In fact, here in a second, I don't know if you can hear it, but this guy next to me is about to shoot both of us now. Definitely do your research. We thought this was going to be a quick and easy process. We wanted to be bougie with it. We wanted to get the nice mics, which we did. We wanted to run 3 of them, have a 3-man show, myself, Gary, and a guest consistently, and run video.
Nope.
We do have one on the back burner. It's an interview with my friend Darcy Doyle. She's an actress. There is some salvageable clips in there, probably published after this, but the video doesn't look great, and it cuts out for no reason.
Doesn't the audio cut out here and there too?
Yeah, the audio cuts out for no reason as well, or just it sounds like it's chopped and screwed, and then after I think 15 minutes, the video's not synced with audio, so it looks super weird. It's at a super weird angle. Let's see. Sorry, what?
Kung Fu movie.
Yeah, kind of. Like it's dubbed in another language. Or it's dubbed in English and we were speaking something else. And then you hear everybody laughing, but somebody's just talking, and then all of a sudden we throw our heads back, and then now somebody, to the audio, just somebody talking. So here's what we learned so far. If you want to run multiple mics, do yourself a favor, go on Amazon and get XLR mics in a bundle with an interface.
Not what we did. We went to Best Buy and bought what we presumed to be good mics, presumed to be good setup, and fucked ourselves out of altogether about $400.
You know what? I quit counting. But here's the thing: is so we thought, hey, it's a digital age. Everything runs on electronics, computers. Why don't we just get some USB mics, and I'll get a USB hub dealio to plug into my MacBook, and then we'll be good to go. Well, that's not the case. All right, so that's basically what we're doing now, but with just 2 microphones. It refuses to do 3. We have some conspiracy theories on why that is, but we'll save those for another time. Now, as far as the video goes, like I said, trying to run it all on the computer over there at Corky's was not the move. So I thought, okay, I have a fancy DSLR camera. We'll just set that bitch up. It'll record us. We'll do the video separate, and then I'll just piece it all together in iMovie. Too easy. I thought I was so fucking smart. Well, now I'm looking over there at the camera. It's on the tripod. It's not running. It only has 20 minutes in it. I don't think that's a battery issue. I think it's a storage issue. So gonna have to spend some more money if we want to get that going and buy a completely separate SD card for video. And then when we're done with it, delete it, refresh it. So I hope everybody's learned something. Learn from our pain. Learn from our mistakes.
This is our podcast about how not to podcast.
And I'm looking at the GarageBand feed right now. Learn from Gary. He's too close to his microphone.
Okay.
You guys are, if I don't edit this, you're going to get blasted with him just speaking normally. Or maybe I'm too quiet. No, I'm peeking up there. I got full green, pushing yellow.
Am I good?
Yeah, right there's good.
Right,
that's cool. A good spot to be. It's not a penis. You don't have to get that close to it.
That's how I make my money.
Well, we certainly aren't making money doing this. We're burning through money, my friend.
Yeah.
And
but now I have a really cool microphone for playing video games.
Yeah. Apparently you can plug a Yeti Blue into a Switch.
Yeah.
And impress people while you're playing, what is it, Fortnite?
I was playing Warzone. Not Warzone, Warfare.
I was going to say, you can't fucking run Warzone on a Switch.
It's Warfare, sorry.
What is Warfare?
It's like a cheap version of Call of Duty, kind of. Where they just rage and shoot people. And there's a lot of Chinese people on there, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, can you communicate with them, or do they just use chat? Do a lot of people use headphones or microphones or anything like that?
It's here or there, and I had one guy completely just yell at me in Chinese, and then I just used Google Translate and
Oh,
just spoke to him in his native language.
yeah. Did you guys have a titillating conversation, or was it the usual "fuck you"?
He seemed very surprised. He seemed very surprised. He was like, he like what? Then he grabbed his phone that the government has been listening to, and talked back to me a little bit here and there. And then I shot him again.
Bold of you to assume that only their government listens to them, and like ours isn't either.
No, the American government doesn't listen to any audio tracks or anything that U.S. citizens.
So if you work for the NSA or the FBI or any three-letter agency, and you're listening to this on the clock or not, man, do the homies a favor.
Chill
Drop a
out.
subscribe. No,
Yeah.
I mean if you're gonna listen to us anyway, like
Yeah.
like, subscribe, comment, do something. Give us some interaction. We could use it. You're here anyway. Just fucking do us a favor, all right? You know enough about our lives. We're not doing well. Things could not be.
It's like the government's version of a guardian angel.
Could be, yeah. It's like we checked to see on Spotify like where our most subscribers come from. It's like, huh, Maryland, Virginia. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, weird.
We like no one has a last name. Everyone's just first name basis. Everyone's called Mark.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, who are we? What are we doing? Like I said, I am Jeremiah Red. This is Gary Sprague. We are based out of Temple, Texas. We're a couple of comedians out here, just doing the damn thing. We decided to fire this bad boy up to obviously entertain, because the way social media is and content. Well, you fuckers just need content all the time. It's not like, oh, I can just go see you once a week and you won't fall off this face of the earth in my brain as far as remembering folks that aren't in my close circle. So basically, what you may or may not see, I don't know, I may just be depressed and delete that whole file, all that work that we did with that interview, is we're going to bring in some of our friends that work in the entertainment industry, kind of like we are, arts and entertainment. Just kind of have a chit chat with them, get some insights. Maybe we'll learn some things along the way aside from how not to podcast. And it should be a fun time. We're also going to do a segment called Lost in the Sauce. Gary, do you remember enough about Lost in the Sauce? Tell them what that is.
All right, so we're gonna set up a Google Voice, and
Hopefully.
hopefully, and you guys can chime in whether you're drunk, high, acid, whatever, as long as you're not in your regular mindset, and just tell us what you're thinking or like whatever is going on in your life, or you need advice on something. We're not the two best people to ask for advice, but we will give you advice. It's free. You can't complain.
At some point, maybe we'll have somebody semi-famous on here, and they'll answer your question or comment on your current life state. I mean, it's whatever. As of right now, we don't have a Google thing set up. If we do when this drops, it'll be in the description. But you can always send an email, no dick pics, actually no nudity, period, please and thank you, to basuratriangle@gmail.com. And for the subject, just put Lost in the Sauce.
Yeah.
Put L.I.S, like whatever's clever. I'm sure we'll know what you're talking about.
Just put saucy in there.
If it's just labeled saucy, I'm probably not going to open it.
I'll open it.
I'll forward it to you without reading it, if that's a thing. If,
Yeah.
if you can do that. We're not the most tech-savvy people here. And
Oh,
you can just open it. I'm good. No,
Okay.
thank you.
I'm like, oh, that's a good one. You should open that one.
Yeah, this is a Gary email. Hey, Gary, when you get a second, could you crack this bad boy open and let us know what the fuck is in it?
My phone just exploded from all the viruses.
Yeah, no, somebody's going to, like, fucking... What are those called? Like, phishing stuff? It's just going to infect all of our devices with gonorrhea AIDS.
I just had a guy, like, while I was sitting here, hit me up and was like,
You have
hey, what's
AIDS?
your Cash App? Like, I'm going to bless you, send you a blessing of, like, money. And I sent him my Cash App. And then he tried to, like, con me into, like, I'll send you X amount of money, but then you have to send X amount of money back.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, blocked. No.
Yeah. Those people have to watch out, because I don't condone snitching by any stretch of the imagination. With some, I don't know.
I snitched on him with a Facebook. I was like,
Well, no, I think if there was an exception to be made, if somebody was trying to offer me like kiddie porn, I'd be like, yeah, dude, somebody needs to know what you're doing out here.
well, yeah.
But they got to be careful, because those are known Cash App scams, and one of the three-letter agencies, I think it's like the FTC or something like that. You can actually get cash for fucking ratting these people out. So I'm not condoning that.
Oh, shit.
I don't even know why I said that out loud. But if you're doing this Cash App stuff, just maybe not solicit everybody that you don't know.
On Facebook?
Yeah, maybe not just every Tom, Dick, and Sully that answers a fucking friend request. I'm just saying, get it how you live. I'm not here to judge. Just, there's always people out to get you for their own personal gain. So whether it's a scam or not, I don't know. Personally, not going to participate, but, watch your six, man.
I send to my Cash App just the off chance. There's always a little hope.
It's like, well, we can't take money.
Yeah. Well, there's those girls who post like their Cash Apps on like their like Instagram or their Twitter, and like desperate men will just send them money.
Oh yeah, dude.
So I'm just hoping for that.
Well, there's always FinDom too.
Yeah, like I just wish I could just be me and someone just send me money.
I just wish that females were not inherently way smarter than us men, so that FinDom could be a thing for me and I can just do that. Yeah. I'll just have a string of chicks where I can just be like, "What's up, you dumb bitch? I need some fucking coffee today. Send me $20 or I'll delete you forever and forget you exist." That's basically how it works.
Yeah, no, basically. Well, and like, like I've had friends who, like, they're all in that whole world of femdom stuff, and I'm like, "It's that easy?" And she goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Why can't? If I call a girl a bitch and tell her to send me something, then like, she's gonna blast me on Twitter or on Facebook.
She's gonna send her cousin to come kick your ass."
Yeah, like have Earl in some overalls come whoop my ass, and like it's not gonna be a good day for me. But some guy just like talk bad to me, I'll send you money. That's what we need to do. I need to find a guy who wants me to treat him like shit.
Does that work male to male? I've never.
It's got to,
listen,
man.
I'm just saying, I know some friends that swing that way, and I feel like if they had that opportunity, they'd probably be doing it already. So maybe it is a thing. Or I guess we can totally do the scumbag thing and just say, screw a Patreon, we're gonna catfish, FinDom some people.
That'd be
so if you guys remember that email from earlier, yeah, if you want to send us some good pictures of yourselves, not somebody else, to help us catfish, we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, right.
We'll make a hoodie and send it to you.
We'll give you a percentage of the sales,
which right now is 0.
Yeah,
we're actually in the negative. So if you do that, if you help us out, you owe us $5 for doing so.
We're just running on empty right now.
We're fucking garbage. I'm about to be running on a Budweiser. You sure you don't want a beer?
Fuck it, let's go.
Fuck it, let's go.
I gotta go to the gym later, and if I can go, dude, I went to the gym drunk the other day. I'm not even mad.
That's a thing, dude. Yeah. So I was talking with my wife and one of our mutual friends about it. The gym bros, shout out to them. When I used to go to the Field House in Temple, which is like where the gym bros go, because there's no like, it's not a no judgment free zone. Which, don't get me wrong, I went there for many years and I didn't have an issue with anybody. I didn't feel threatened or anything like that. But it also didn't bother me that there were like these big hunky dudes just throwing weights and yelling. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, headphones for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. But nonetheless, it did not surprise me if I would see like a Bang can on the ground in the parking lot right next to like a Bud Light can.
Yeah.
It's like they just shotgun both of them. So to the point where my wife and our friend was telling me that they knew some gym bros back in college that they would like put pre-workout in the beer.
Ooh.
And then shotgun it. I was like, well, how do you put it in there and shotgun if it's already open?
Yeah, like, and isn't that how like Four Loko was killing people?
Yeah, dude, 100%. That's why they took the caffeine out of it.
Yeah.
So now it's caffeine, and then taurine or whatever the fuck -ine. My thing is like, how do you come out of there not looking like Forrest Whitaker because you got the up of the fucking pre-workout and then you got the downer of the beer?
I used to know some guys who would take 2 5-hour energy shots and pour them into the Four Lokos.
Oh, just try and emulate what was supposed to be left in the past.
And I was like, that's fucking insane. Like, people were literally dying off of this.
Oh yeah, but I mean, nobody who was dying off of that was just drinking like 2 a night. Some dude probably at a frat house. I don't doubt it.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was the only reason why they fucking took it off the shelves, because it happened in rich colleges. But somebody was like, I'm going to break the fucking record. Tony's got 10 down. Tonight I'm going to do 15. And he did. But he paid for it.
Yeah. Well, like, I remember when those first came out, like I had older friends who would go buy alcohol for us. And, like, they would buy a couple of them. And they were, like, really sketched out by them. Because, like, people were dying from it. And I drank one. And I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, just the one and done.
I was like, I'm gonna switch to beer because you get that little jittery feeling, but then like your brain's also like you're kind of drunk, so you should be powering down right now.
Yeah, we should be going on a downward trend as far as energy and
Yeah,
cortisol levels go, but for some reason we can't kill this baseline level.
yeah. So you're just like constantly going and drunk, and you're just like, I don't know what's going on with my body.
So, what did they pass a law to where they had to fucking take the caffeine out of the booze?
I think it was lawsuits.
I was gonna say, or did they crumble under the legal pressure?
I think it was legal pressure.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, but like, I think it was just like the mass. Like no one had ever done that before, so they were just like, all right, this is our product.
To the extent of our knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, the '90s were crazy, so who knows?
Who the fuck knows?
But like, whenever they came out with it, it was like people were dropping dead left and right in all these colleges and stuff. So they were like, well, I guess people are suing. So they just took it out.
Yeah, the parents
like,
were suing and shit.
Oh yeah, because like imagine like, oh yeah, my son's going to college and he drank like 2 of these Four Locos. He's dead.
Oh, sure,
like,
there was more than 2 though.
But still.
And that was the main argument that I remember because I didn't watch this thing closely, but the main argument from the Four Loko crew was that okay, well, on all of our shit it says drink responsibly.
Well, yeah.
You know, drinking 12 in a row in one night while doing shots of tequila is certainly not responsibly.
Well, even on the tequila it says drink responsibly.
Yeah.
But,
so it's just one of those things where I don't know. So let me ask you this: let's say you're the head honcho of Four Loko, right? These lawsuits, all this shit's coming in. Would you take the caffeine out of it, or would you just be like, you were warned?
I imagine it depends on sales versus like how much these lawsuits were. Like I feel like when it came down to it, well, I mean, ethically, I imagine the correct thing to do is to take the caffeine out because you are putting people on this spiral up and down and killing them. But also, you run a business. This is your product, and I don't know. That's a situational thing, and also, like with a company like that, I imagine there's way more investors involved in it. And if your investors are like, "Hey, you need to cut this shit out,"
Yeah. We got some Four Locos, and no, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of Four Loko,
did Four Loko ever sponsor anybody?
probably, dude, I can totally see them as like an extreme sport.
Dude, how fucking funny would it be to see a NASCAR fucking vehicle just going around the fucking circle with just Four Loko on the hood? That'd be the funniest shit.
That's
like
the
some
people
surfboarder.
you need to kill off. Like that's what they should have done. They should have done a NASCAR Four Loko. Should have sent it off on a bunch of rednecks and just like wiped out Florida.
Wiped out Florida. Maybe Four Loko was a plan to wipe out Florida, but it just made him stronger.
Larry the Cable Guy is just fucking downing him.
Dude, when was the last time you even seen somebody drink it? Because nobody really drinks them anymore now.
I drank one like 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, like
Of course you did.
yeah, trash. It was like I was like going through HEB and I like looked over and I was like, oh, Four Loko? I was like, sick. I wonder if it, and like, it's all right. I mean, it gets you drunk.
Oh, for sure. I mean, nobody's drinking it for the flavor.
Yeah, like it almost like tastes like a wine cooler almost, but like a wine cooler that'll manhandle you.
Oh yeah. There's big burly man. It was like I said earlier, Earl with the suspenders and a lead pipe. Listen here, fucker.
You're gonna get drunk real quick.
Well, surely there are better options for a can, a tall boy can, albeit what are they like, almost 32 ounces?
Probably.
Or even a 6-pack that's 14% or more. I mean, some of these fucking IPAs are like, watch out, bitch.
Yeah, like some like the IPAs, like some of them, I'm like, this isn't a beer anymore. It can't legally be a beer. Like, I don't know what the legal parameters are for beer, for alcohol wise, but like I feel like they're pushing it.
I don't know what it is either. I know I saw a TikTok video of these people drinking the world's strongest beer, but basically it has the same alcohol content as liquor.
Yeah.
So they told them, don't pour this into a glass and drink it. Well, they tried to, and they all made it about, halfway down, not even, before they just were literally physically falling over drunk.
Jesus Christ.
And they were like, hey, stupid, would you do the same thing with a glass of whiskey? No, that's what we thought.
God, I would just rather just drink whiskey at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was like smooth. They were all making ridiculous faces, and there was no commentary. Obviously, you know, it's fucking TikTok. It's just, you know, this new generation of kids. They just want to watch. They don't want to talk or listen or read.
See, yeah, they don't want to listen to us. We're just two guys. Well, you're 28,
29.
29. I turned 31 in like, let's say
Today is the 18th.
18. I got like 8 more days.
He's got fucking smoke coming out of his head from trying to math that real quick.
Yeah, no, dude, if I can't write it down, I'm fucking terrible at math.
So, yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, Gary and I are, number one, trash. Number two, we're local to Central Texas. We're both from here. Mostly, right? Because you started off.
I started off, so my dad's military.
Mm-hmm. Same.
So we bounced around here and there, and then it was like going to visit in Pennsylvania for off and on. Like, at one point I moved to Pennsylvania because I was like, I'm going to go find a job. And then I was like, oh, there's no jobs here. I'm going back to Texas. So I bounced between like Dallas, Austin, Temple.
Well traveled.
And ended up back here.
I can't really say the same thing. I mean, yeah, my dad was military too. He was from Michigan, just basically right outside of Detroit. He met my mom in El Paso, so I was born in El Paso. My mom made sure to do that, you know, the whole Texas Pride thing.
Oh, yeah.
Lone Star State, baby. She flew, because he was stationed in Germany at the time, she flew from Germany to El Paso, make sure I was born not only in the States, but in Texas. And then once I was, you know, I guess flight ready as a baby,
Yeah.
flew back. My dad transitioned out of there, and then his last duty station was Fort Hood, of all places. Fantastic place.
Yeah.
And
You like assault?
yeah, he transitioned out of the Army, and even back in the fucking early 90s, they were like, yo, Killeen sucks.
Yeah.
Fort Hood sucks.
Well, dude, I remember, like, maybe this is, like, the light of being a child, but, like, we grew up in a neighborhood in Killeen, and it was, like, it was nice. Like, like, that whole, like, no, I didn't discover racism until moving to Belton.
That makes sense. That checks out.
In Killeen, like, we lived in a trailer park at one point, we lived in a neighborhood, and, like, there'd be, like, a Puerto Rican family, there'd be a black family, there'd be, like, an Asian family. Like, we all just got along. Like we all just exchanged food. And then when it came to Belton, and because majority of my schooling was in Belton, and I was like, oh, this is what racism is. Because, like, I dealt with a lot of whites, like the scary whites.
The scary whites.
Or, as Dave Chappelle put, the tiki torch whites.
Yeah.
And dealing with them was like, oh, well, this sucks. Can we, like, go elsewhere and, like, do anything else? My parents were like, nah, it's cheap here.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah.
Well, here's the funny thing is that Temple was bigger than Killeen in the early 90s. That's why my mom and dad decided to move here. Because, number one, like I said, they didn't much care for Fort Hood.
Yeah.
Not that they were living on base, but they were telling, I don't remember. I'm very, very little, so I don't remember what there was to do or not to do at that point. But they said, like, there was, like, nothing in Killeen. Like, it was just, like, basically, like, a suburb of the base.
Well, like, because I remember, like, what I do remember of, like, Killeen was just, like, I think there's a putt-putt golf in Killeen. That was sick.
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, there was.
There was, yeah, you're right, sorry.
And, but, like, there was a whole lot of nothing in that area. And, like, I remember the mall and the Chuck E. Cheese.
Yep.
That's all and as
Still
a child.
there.
Yeah, and they're still there. As a child, that's all you need to know.
I've never even been to Chuck E. Cheese.
Dude, it used to be so sick.
That's what I heard. Never happened.
Like, on your birthday, they'd give you extra tickets. And one day I lied and told them it was my birthday. It was like a fake birthday party. Because I'm born on Christmas, so nothing's open on Christmas. So I got to, like, set up a fake birthday for myself.
Yeah, there you go. Can you imagine me? That's... How fucking sad would that be? Like, if you just celebrated a day early, and it's like a working fucking Christmas Eve at Chuck E. Cheese, and it's this son of a bitch's birthday tomorrow. Just fucking thinking about putting on the rat suit and jumping into a pool with all the electronics, just frying yourself.
Dude, have you seen, like, the old school Chuck E. Cheese?
I mean, in pictures, again, I just told you I never went.
No. I'm just like the video, like the videos,
uh,
like
no.
Uncle, like Chucky looked like a weird uncle that would punch you in the mouth and tell you to shut up. Like you just used to smoke cigars.
They need more of that.
Yeah,
Why did that go away?
kids would get soft.
Well, you know what it is. Honestly, I don't think it's the kid's fault. I think a lot of times actually when you see like a kid and it's just like, what are you doing? What's your problem? Not a lot of people look at the parents. Remember when parents used to get shamed?
Oh yeah.
Not even the parents get shamed anymore.
Oh
It's like,
no, I'm
here's
trying so hard.
well, here's what I speculate because you and I are millennials. My wife is Gen Z,
Oh,
right? So she, based on the way she was raised, it was more like you and I were a little bit, but for the most part, like, when we were younger, we still had dirt technology,
Yeah.
especially if you didn't have a lot of money, which you and I both kind of grew up poor, so we didn't. Um, so we kind of went from the Gen X side of things of playing outside, not having any communication, come home when the streetlights come on type shit. Supposed to be one place, but we're actually getting blackout drunk at a park.
Oh yeah.
To, okay, technology boom, we got cell phones, blah, 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 as we're coming into, because I didn't even have a fucking cell phone until I was in high school.
Yeah, same.
But then my wife's talking about, like, she had her first phone when she was, like, 10.
Jesus.
I mean, the idea with her parents was so they can keep track of her because she, like, walked to school every day and all this other shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, mom, being kidnapped, help.
Yeah, I didn't get my first phone because until it was one of those pay-as-you-go phones.
Yep.
And it was literally because I stayed a night at a friend's house and didn't call them, and they were like, we gotta keep track of you, and like I was going out to like concerts and dumb shit and doing dumb shit like, and it was like just one of those like just brick phones that you could play like I think you could play Centipede on it.
Yeah. I remember the brick phones. Yeah,
But,
my
that was
parents
my
had
first
some of
phone.
those.
I was like 14. And I got that. I was like, oh, this is dope. And my friends were like, it's not a razor. What a loser.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, here's the thing, and I said that a lot. Here's the thing. I say here's the thing too much.
I say 100% a lot, apparently.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
So you got the iPad kids, right? And so we got this random, really in-depth conversation, my wife and I, about like maybe that's why kids are the way they are, and a lot of people are popping up on the autism spectrum. Maybe not because they have a chemical imbalance so much as like they grew up on their iPad kids.
Oh, yeah.
So they didn't really have social interaction unless it was on a screen, right? So when it comes to social interaction, they're all fucking weirdos because they don't know what it's like to be dropped into a room full of strangers, having to figure out who's in charge, who's the cool kid on campus, who do you want to hang out with, who do you not want to hang out with, who's a loser, who's a scumbag, who's a nice guy, and having to do that consistently.
Oh, yeah.
To where now it's like almost a habit, because they were like, just fucking around on the screen for the most part, and until they, I don't know, were made to go to school or something,
Yeah.
and then now they're still just like texting each other from across the classroom because in the classroom they're like, shut up and listen.
Dude, like I have one of my best friends, her son's, honestly, he's 8, he's turning 9 he might be 7 turning 8 this year.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in that age range, and like, he freaks out if like we go hang out and he doesn't have a tablet.
I believe it.
And like, she started noticing it, and me and her talked about it at one point, and was like, "Yo, like that's not healthy. Like he needs like he can interact with people,
Mm-hmm.
and he has social like he reminds me a lot like me as a kid because I was a very quiet kid. I just didn't really want to talk to a whole lot of people, and like I was just very reserved. But like he freaks out if he doesn't have a laptop because it's like a safety blanket. It's something familiar. It's something that he can focus on away from all the people. And I guess for me, you know what? It makes me think about like whenever they talk about newspapers, they said newspapers were destroying social
Yeah.
interactions because I used to carry around this like stuffed Simba from Lion King, and like I just hung out with that thing, and that might be my version of the laptop because I just focus on that. And that might be part of like an autism spectrum. So I imagine I'm probably somewhere on there. But like, I think the iPad or tablet is just way bigger version of like the Simba stuff. Like,
To a degree, yeah. Because one of the things that they're looking at too is they talk about like even in adults, like if you use too much social media, it starts fucking with your brain.
Oh yeah.
And to have that done at such an early age, God only knows. But I don't know, man. I always, even some of my material, I talk a lot of shit. I mean, it's mostly just jokes about shit ass kids running around doing whatever, running amok. And but I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine. I can't imagine being a parent, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But also, I could see where it'd be like very tempting if it's like, man, I can just get 5 minutes of fucking quiet if I just give him this piece of shit.
Oh yeah. I think it's all. A lot of it is. It's like it becomes overstimulation for the parent.
Mm-hmm.
So they need like an out. And like I was talking to my niece, and she's 18 now.
Mm-hmm. She's
18. She's going out in the world, and it's terrifying because she's an iPad kid.
Mm.
And like I told her, like, I was like, oh, well, what do you and your friends do? Like, do you go drinking? Like do you be honest with me? Like, I was like, I'll be the cool uncle to where you can call me if you're stuck in a weird situation. You can call me. I will come pick you up. I'll take care of you. Like, it's not a big deal. It's better coming from me than you having to call your dad and get that lecture. Like, I might still lecture you, but like not as intense as him. But like, you're just being an idiot. But I told her, I was like, what do you and your friends do? Like, do you like? Because at 18, I had already like tagged places and like gone to punk shows and done a bunch of dumb shit and like drove to Houston without telling my parents and did a bunch of dumb shit in Houston. I've been by the time I hit 18, 19, I already been in every major city in Texas, and my parents didn't know I was ever in any of those major cities. And just like doing hardcore shows and like playing music and all that. And like I looked at what she was doing, and she's like, oh, like I've got X amount of view time on TikTok. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Wow. Yeah, it's all in the world. You know, stuff like that's dying out too. Like you said, you were just like traveling with the band and doing all this other shit. Like that's kind of crazy. Because here's the thing too. See, there I go again. On another note, when I did have a phone through high school, it didn't have any kind of tracking on it.
Yeah.
So, you know, if somebody were to call me, I mean, woe was me. I was one of those I was a middle child. I was pretty overlooked. But on the off chance that somebody did call, was asking where I was, I could have lied.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, no, for sure. We're still over here at Johnny's house, just, you know, kicking back, playing Xbox. Nothing big happening. Meanwhile, in the other room, like, everybody's, like, taking turns bong ripping some shit. Somebody's on some fucking ecstasy.
Yeah.
There's a gun on the table.
Yeah. Like, we did the same thing. It was always, like, me and my friends who would go out with, I was like, oh, I'm at your house. And if someone called, they're like, they're at my house.
That's like the old version of, like, being at the bar and paying the bartender a couple of bucks where if the wife calls, he'll just, like, you know, he'll hold the phone over like this and be like, hey, is there a Henry Miller here? Henry Miller? Yeah, no, sorry, lady, he's not here.
But with those razors, like, it was literally a safety of like, call me if you're in trouble. Like, my parents really just didn't give a fuck. Like, I don't know if they imagined they wanted to be parents or what, but it was just like, call me if you're stuck in a bad situation that like we can help you with. But just be safe. Just go out in the world, experience things. Because I grew up with like dirt poor pig farming Western Pennsylvania dad and then German mom who was just like, at 16 I was drinking, so go do what you want to go do. So I was
just don't do it with the French.
Yeah. But like we just went and did dumb shit, and like a lot of times I was like, well, I'm in Dallas. I can't really call my dad in this situation, so I gotta figure this shit out myself. So like, or like I remember at one point I ended up in like not Guadalajara, but like some podunk Mexican town on the border at 17, going, what the fuck am I doing here? I was like, I don't speak Spanish at all, and I was like, I'm in a room with guys with face tattoos, and this is way before like rappers were okay with having face tattoos.
Right, before everybody had a face tattoo
Yeah.
essentially, or just like most people. Like it's not terribly uncommon anymore.
Like back then, it was if you have a face tattoo, you probably 900% are a drug dealer.
Or killed somebody.
Or yeah,
or both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
now
these guys had all killed people while dealing drugs, and planted those drugs on those dead bodies.
you see now it's like a mystery. It's almost like a little puzzle. You gotta size up this dude and be like, is he the type that'll fucking stab you with a switchblade, or does he just really know the best craft beers? Does he have something cooking in his garage? Is it meth or is it some IPAs?
I met this one kid. He was like, he's a tattoo artist, and he's like doing a bunch of like. He lives out in Rogers, and rad kid.
Jeez.
He's like he's just turned 18 recently, and he's been tattooing for the past like 2 years, and he has hand tattoos already, and
He do them himself or what?
oh yeah, dude, total DIY. He grew up in Rogers,
Ugh.
and like
If my first ugh wasn't loud enough.
yeah, right, and he's doing really well. Like
Sick, yeah.
And that's another product of the internet, and it's like it's one of the positive things is where this kid growing up. I remember like Rogers is a bunch of fucking farmers and like country boys, and all of a sudden this random kid comes up and is like, "I'll be a tattoo artist," and the internet gave him that ability. And he might have been one of those tablet kids, but at least he was using his tablet to go find cool shit.
He was using it for good.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna tattoo people and get my hands tattooed before I can even legally drink beer.
Well, here's the thing. God damn it. You know what? I don't even care. Here's the fucking thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I wasn't doing comedy and entertainment, I probably would not even use social media. And if I did,
Oh, same.
I'd probably only have a Facebook. I'd look at it every so often because this is what I used to do before I said fuck it. I'm gonna quit my job and not make any money and actually spend money just to make people laugh and sometimes. But no, like yeah, it's a great tool to use, but again, just like anything else, now that everybody's on it, you got to find a way to stand out, and I guess it helps juice your creativity.
Oh yeah.
But what am I about to say? Here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. Or at the same time, it's just like constantly having to just push it out there, or like you get forgotten so quickly, and it's just, yeah, it's a necessary evil, I would call it. And I'm not alone when I say this. Like even there's like more like major leaguers,
Oh, yeah.
comics who like just off the top of my head, Chris DiStefano. I mean, most of those guys have somebody that runs their social media
Oh,
for
yeah.
them, but he's like the first one I've heard, and I don't listen to everybody, so he's the first one to say like he recognized that it was having a not good effect on him, so he just handed it off to somebody else, and he'll be like, hey, he'll send him pictures or whatever if he's out and about. If the guy's not already there to take pictures,
Yeah.
he'll post some shit, and then he'll be like, if there's like a crazy comment or if there's something that I should be known about, just let me know. But other than that,
Well, that's like Pete Davidson doesn't do any of that. Like,
makes sense.
Like he doesn't even have like a Twitter or Instagram for someone else to run. He doesn't do any of that. But also, that guy's on SNL.
Yeah, that's true.
And
He's still on SNL?
I think so. Dude, it's
I don't
SNL.
really watch it,
I don't
so-
fucking watch it.
Yeah, I don't really watch it.
I wait for the weekend update to go on YouTube and then I watch that.
Oh, yeah, I do see those clips with Colin and Michael.
Dude, Michael Shea is one of the funniest comedians out there.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Dude,
He does both.
Genuinely, like, one of my favorite comedians. And, like, and he does brilliant on Weekend Update. It almost feels like Weekend Update has different writers than the rest of SNL.
I could see that, or they just do better at it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dudes. I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of SNL, especially after like the Farley era.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that come from SNL or some other kind of like sketch comedy show that get into stand up, and it's like, wow, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
Your stand up's trash. Like you're good at presenting, but you're not great at writing, or
Yeah.
there's a disconnect there somewhere.
Well, and, like,
Says me in my fucking living room.
I've heard that, and like I've heard that argument from people about Pete Davidson, where like they don't like his stand up.
It's solid, man. I don't have anything
Yeah.
bad to say about it.
No, dude, I love his stand up because he's so it's very conversational, and it's very like he says. I think in the one of the recent update specials he's done, he says in it like 45 times or something like that.
Yeah.
but like it's very conversational. It's very there. It's not. It doesn't seem super rehearsed. It's very natural, and people want Louis C.K. style stuff where every single word matters and everything has to be in place. But I was like, that's not all comedy.
No, it's not.
Like,
It's not.
The like you can't compare like Robin Williams to Cat Williams.
Right, even though they have the same last name. Is
Yeah.
that where you were going with that?
Yeah. Like
I mean, there's a lot of other stark contrast between them aside from the fact that, like, yeah.
I said Robin Williams and Cat Williams came to my head. You know, you don't have to call me out on that.
Yeah. No, I
But
did.
like
Keeping each other sharp.
but like Robin Williams was always super like 100% the whole way. Energy was always there. Versus we'll say Pete Davidson, just for comparison, because he's very calm,
Yeah.
very slow, monotonous type of comedy, and he has punchlines, but like very different outcomes and very different processes, and like some people will hear comedy and they'll think one way or the other, and whenever it comes to SNL, I think there's a lot of comedians. Like you can see, like the '90s SNL, like had a ton of comedians who did phenomenal stuff coming out. Like '80s and '90s, that was like the golden years because what you had like Eddie Murphy, Chris Farley, I'm running a blank on big.
We know who you're talking about, yeah.
But yeah, like all those comedians, Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler came out of SNL. And like the dude's one of the biggest, if not, I don't know if he still is comedy, but like comedic movie stars of all time.
Well, he's one of those guys that, like, branched out and crushed it at arguably everything, at least once.
Yeah.
So now it's like he can do whatever the fuck he wants to. He's Sandler. Like, he can not do anything for the rest of his life. He's good to go.
Oh yeah, like he did Billy Madison in Happy Gilmore. He's fine.
Which, that kind of reminds me, what on your comments about like where Louis C.K. everything you say matters, or people are expecting Louis C.K. That kind of reminds me, and for what it's worth, I'm pretty new to this comedy thing, and as are you. Like we haven't been, obviously it's not like we've been doing this like 12 years.
No.
Definitely not the fucking case. If you are interested in getting into stand up, just cash at me $50. And, no, I'm kidding. No, honestly, one of the things that I've learned coming and doing this whole thing is I bump into a lot of people that they're like, if they haven't seen me, they're like, oh, hey, dude, I see that you're doing the comedy thing. That's awesome. I love stand-up. And they're like, and obviously, you know, some of them don't come out. I'm not complaining because not everybody comes out.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is understanding the difference, this is totally fine, too. When people say that they love stand-up, they don't necessarily mean they love it on all levels.
Yeah.
So if somebody says they love football, they're probably talking about the NFL.
Yeah.
So the same thing goes for stand-up. Somebody who says they love stand-up, even if they watch a shit ton of it, maybe they can rattle off more punchlines and comedians than you can. There's a very good chance that they've maybe never even seen an open mic.
Yeah.
And they might not enjoy the grassroots part of it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I suppose that's okay. But at first, you're like, oh, fuck, yeah. Here we go. And it's like, oh, all these people are saying they love stand-up. Well, why don't I ever see them? It's, well, I guess it's understandable.
Well,
But come to my shows anyway.
Yeah, of course. Come to the shows.
Come to the shows, you fucks.
Losers. But no, like
I love you.
I fucking hate all of you.
Okay, well, I love you guys.
Like I've had friends who come to like stand up for like open mics, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" I was like, "This is the fun of the open mics. You don't know what you're gonna get."
No.
And like I've seen like friends of mine who are phenomenal comedians bomb hard. And I'm like, "Wow, that was rough."
That was rough.
And like I've seen them go like do big rooms and kill it, and I'm like, you just bombed a 5-minute open mic, but it's about the process. And like I've had mics where I'll like walk in, like this last mic I went to, I walked in and I came off work at 9:00. The mic started at 8.
And where was that mic at again?
At Corky's.
Oh, yeah. Our normal recording space is the Temple's #1 destination for entertainment, not just comedy. They also do beer and wine tours. They have a limo rental. They have a party bus rental.
Are we getting paid for this?
I mean, they let us use our space.
Sick. Okay.
So, yeah, I figured it'd be nice. Whenever we're in Temple, that's usually where we hang out.
Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, ignore Gary. The fuck.
I love Corky's.
Yeah,
And
dude. I mean,
Mel scares me and is lovely at the same time.
yes. I don't know. She doesn't scare me. She's a very endearing person.
No, she
But
but no, yeah,
check out Corky's and Tour Temple.
yeah. But this last mic I went to, I like got off of work and I immediately drove to Corky's and walked in, and I really didn't have anything prepared. So it was like I was like kind of like checking out the other comics and was like, hey, what happened while I was gone? Da da da. And I got some information and I just wrote off of that. And it was literally like this. I did the whole 5 minutes, and I went over a little bit. It was for Scott's birthday.
Yeah.
Shout out Scott.
Scott Whitcop, shout out to him.
Yeah, love him. And it was for his birthday, and I went over a little bit over my time, but like I just kind of just ran this shit, and then like I think I put in one joke about Kanye, that was planned out, but the rest of it was off the cuff stuff, and like it worked out super great. And I've not really been that comedian who can do off the cuff stuff, but if I get out of work late and I still show up, that's what I've been trying to work on. And I think that's just another thing for open mics. You'll see people who show up and they'll show up with a notebook written out, and like they know exactly what they're gonna do. They've timed out their 5 minutes. They know what the fuck's going on. And then other people like me show up, and I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking ream this room dry and figure something out. One mic, they had talked about this one girl with big tits was talking about like dating, and I was like, I forgot exactly what I said about her, but I was just like talking about like getting drunk. Oh, she measured getting drunk by bottles and not glasses.
Interesting.
And I was like,
I'm assuming wine bottles.
yeah. And I was like, oh, you're like a lot of Texans. We don't go by distance, we go by hours. So you just go by bottles. You just wake up with one tit hanging out, and you're like, oh, it's still a good night.
I used to have a boss. He would measure distances by how many Miller Lite tall boys it would take him to get there.
Jesus Christ.
He'd be like, yeah, from here to here, that's about 4.5 tall boys. Good guy.
I
hope
to get to that point in my life.
Yeah, I don't know. He's still doing strong. I mean, I keep up with him, social media and whatnot. He doesn't really, he's not active on it. Just his wife tags him and shit. And he seems to be doing pretty well, but I always thought that was funny.
Oh, yeah. Well, social media, like you said before, I would be on social media if it wasn't for comedy. Like, when I kind of, like, whenever COVID hit, like, the whole music scene stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was, like, trying to, like, still start a band and still trying to work on music. And it just kind of fell through. And then when everything started to open up again, like, I really kind of was, like, still trying to make music. And then I ended up at Corky's one night and watched some stand-up. And I was like, I'm going to be up there next week.
Hell
and
yeah.
My CEO was like, yeah, sign up next week. Be up there. I signed up that week. And, dude, it was, like, 2 minutes of me attempting jokes, if that. And then, like, I, like, had a panic attack. Because it wasn't like playing music. It was way worse. Because playing music, I had 5 people on stage with me. And it was like, we're going to play these songs. No one's going to heckle you. No one interrupts you. And, like, you've been practicing these songs in, like, a garage or a storage unit for the past, like, few weeks. So
you're gonna tell me that all the time you spent in the metal and hardcore and punk, you never got heckled as a musician?
Probably, but I was too drunk to, like, pay attention to it.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Or it was presumably given the, go fuck yourself. Like, because they're like, you always suck. I'm like, go fuck yourself. And then I just play the next song.
On to the next one.
Yep. But, like, comedy was such a, like, an instant feedback, like,
oh, 100%.
let me say this joke, and then all of a sudden you tell me nothing, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And that was, like, a very stark contrast. So whenever I, like, sat in Corky's bathroom going, what am I doing here? I was like,
Didn't you throw up while you were in there?
Yeah, I threw up in that bathroom. That was the first, yep. And then, like, I like, took a swig of beer and spit it back out into the toilet, and I was like, all right, let's go back for it.
What was the point of swigging the beer if you just spit it back out?
I didn't want all that puke.
Oh yeah, you're being hygienic, and
Yeah.
instead of running under the tap, you just wasted a whole swig of beer. That's cool.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, no, and I just kept at it, and it's one of those things. It's like some people will go up there and be like, "Oh, I can just do this." I'm like, some people can. It's a very small amount. Like our friend Justin Moreno, I saw him do his first stand up, and he fucking killed it.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, he went up his first time.
Dude, Justin's fucking hilarious.
He's so good.
He's so fucking dude. His joke writing, I think, is really what makes it amazing.
Danny French. The first time I saw him, he was hilarious. The first time I saw him.
But was that the first time he did it?
I don't know. It was the first.
He's been doing that a while.
One of the first. I would imagine it was one of the first times, or if not, like he only went up there a handful of times.
Okay.
And like, I just read on social media recently that he had killed it, and so shout out to him.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Fucking controlled the room.
Yeah.
Which the room was described as unruly.
Yeah.
You get those.
I want those rooms. I want an unruly room.
I've had a couple. Yeah, it's just it can be kind of like a back and forth give and take. The last one I did in Killeen that I told you about, where there was like a shooting a block away. There wasn't a ton of people, so it was hard for them to be unruly. But man, it was hard to keep their attention. I had to focus on this one table, and I actually got them to give me a beer. I just finished my mixed drink on the stage, and I was like, "Hey, what the fuck you drinking, dude?" He's like, Dos Equis. I was like, "Yo, can I get one? Gonna hook a brother up? Hey, thanks, bro."
Nice. That's always a dope thing. It's like when I was playing music, people were like, there was always that drunk guy who's like, "Dude, you guys are sick. Let me buy you a shot." I'm like, "Yeah, buy me a shot." And then also like I also like Dos Equis, and or like you'll have like, but and it's now it's like, "Oh, dude, you're really funny." And I remember one time we got done with the night at Corky's and we went to Green Door, and this guy who saw us all at at Corky's was like, "Dude, let me buy you a drink. Like, you are fucking funny." I was like, "Hell yeah!" It's the same thing. Like, I'm just trying to get people to buy me drinks.
That's your end goal.
Yeah,
It's like I don't care how high up I go, as long as I don't have to pay for a bar tab when I'm done with an open mic or a showcase, we're good to go.
Yeah, like the two things I've relied on most at getting a free drink at a bar is like doing really well on stage no matter what I'm doing, or lying to people and saying it's my birthday. Which last time I did that, I went to Green Door and I told some people, I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's my birthday," and they're like,
"Tell me about this." Yeah.
And they're like, "Are you for real?" I was like, "Yeah, it's my birthday," and they bought me a bunch of shots. And this guy was like, "Hey, you wanna go in the bathroom and do some coke?" I was like, "No, thank you. I appreciate that. You were super generous. I know that shit's expensive, so thank you, but no, I'm good." And then a couple more beers later, and a couple more people buy me drinks. He was like, "It's his birthday." And they're like, "It's his birthday. Sick. Let me buy you a shot."
Dude, I don't know what it is about people with cocaine, but those guys are the most generous when it comes to sharing their shit.
Oh yeah.
Like somebody can be like, "Hey man, those are dope shoes." I'm like, "Thanks." So like, "You want a bump?"
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Thank you though.
It's a social drug, and I think they just want people to do drugs with them.
I fucking guess so, man, because I've been offered coke way more than I've been, offered any other drug in my entire life.
Oh yeah, like I've only been offered heroin one time, and it was a scary situation. I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
I don't know if this is still the case, but back when I was smoking pot, man, potheads were fucking stingy, bro.
Oh yeah, no. For the longest, they were like, "This is my weed. I saved this up for 2 hours hanging out with a guy I didn't want to hang out with, and now I got some weed." Like, it's always like real rough. Well, I imagine now, like, dude, like I haven't really smoked weed in like I don't know how long.
Nah, me neither.
With Delta, was it Delta 8 now?
Delta 8, Delta 9, all this
and like
shit.
THC 0, like they're like, "Oh, that's," and it's funny because like you get those guys who are like, "That's fake weed. That's not natural weed." I was like, "Dude, you just ate a Twinkie. None of that is fucking natural."
It's like, have you popped one of those edibles before? Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, like...
Not that I would know, but I see people pop them. Like, you are very high right now.
Like, bro, you're drinking a Mountain Dew. Like, there's nothing natural about that. Don't yell at me about my THC 0 gummy. Because I'm just trying to get through the fucking day.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to just raw dog life, and I can't drink here, so...
Yeah, I'm just fucking... I want to go listen to some music later.
No, the THC shit, I can't do that anymore. It, number one, it spikes my anxiety. I don't know why, because I used to smoke the fuck out of it when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And shortly after. But aside from spiking my anxiety, there's a weird side effect that it does to me that I don't know why it does this, but it does. Is I become very conscious about my teeth and my gums. So my anxiety is spiked, so I can't sit still. I'm like fidgeting in my chair, I'm pacing around, but now I'm also super self-conscious about my teeth and my gums, so I'm over there like... So it looks like I just did coke. Yeah. Somebody will see me if I ever were to smoke again or take an edible or whatever the case may be. They're like, that guy just did a fucking fat rail. No, I didn't actually.
I rub my knees a lot if I get super, super high for some reason. It might be an anxiety thing, but
Yeah, you feel like you just got to ground yourself.
Like, think about it right now. Do you think about how you can feel your knees?
No.
When I get super high, I'm like, I can feel my knees. Like, I can feel my knee.
I can feel it creaking every time I move it.
Like literally, like it feels like I can feel my kneecaps, but like it's my kneecaps and my bones. I can feel them together, and it's like that's when I know I'm high.
That's a good barometer, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fuck.
One day I took a dab with some friends years ago, and I was like, I'm super fucking high, and they're like, how can you tell? I was like, for one, I'm fucking high.
I can feel my knees.
But also, I can feel my knees. And my friend goes, what? He goes, I get the munchies. I was like, oh no, do you have some Cheetos? Like, but also, I can feel my knees.
But also, yeah. Nobody touch my knees, okay?
Yeah. I had an ex-girlfriend grab my knee when I was super high. I freaked out. I was like, don't touch it. No, it's mine. And she was like, what? I was like, I don't know.
I don't know why I like this.
Freaking out.
Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, so I can't fucking do this shit. I just stick to the booze.
It's very far and few in between where I'll indulge. Like I bought a pack of edibles, and like I think I'm still burning through it, and it's been like 2 months, and I don't know what the shelf life is.
I was gonna say, what's the shelf life on those fucking things?
But like it's very far and few between. Like I'm trying really hard to like realize life and like pay attention to things, because I find more stuff comes out of comedy if I can pay attention to life. Yeah. Because like what I always tell a lot of people is like comedy can write itself. You just have to witness it. Yeah,
you have to see it, be able to articulate it, and put it into a form where when you express it to other people or explain it or whatever the case may be, they see it too.
I'm like, and like you have to make it relatable, because like you have a racist uncle. I can guarantee you, if you're in a room full of people, at least 20 or 30 of those people have a racist uncle, and if you can make a joke about them, it's gonna be great.
I'm not so sure, because there's a lot of people I find funny that I cannot relate to. I don't think you have to be relatable so much as you have to make it to a point to where if you're able to put somebody else in your shoes and they're seeing things from your perspective, or being able to sympathize with you because of how you present it, then it doesn't have to be relatable.
Well, yeah. Well, and that stems into the talk about like very different comedians. Mm-hmm. Like, because like Robin Williams will talk about some crazy shit. I'm like, I don't know anything about what that is about, or like that situation, but it's funny because you presented it.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, a lot of it is like trying to get the room to like. And this is what I'd say my style is like. Mm-hmm. Is I try to get the room to relate to something I'm doing or something in my life. Or like if I talk about Kanye, everyone pays attention to that because like, oh, it's crazy, something in the news, the pop culture zeitgeist. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's being really anti-Semitic.
Yeah, super topical.
Yeah, and trying to and just kind of stay on that pulse. And I guess that's where, but also I've talked about Terminator, where that movie came out in 1984.
Good bit.
Which I wasn't alive in 1984, but I can talk about it. And like a lot of people have never seen that movie, but they know the series, they know what it's about.
Yeah, the premise enough is like, okay, we can follow down this road with you.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. People will often ask me like what my style is, and I always just fumble that one. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Because I do, I do some personal experiences, but I also do like insights, hyperbolic fucking opinions, I guess, and then just straight bits, just like.
Well, how consistently have you been doing comedy so far?
Since I quit my job in August.
So August. So I would say you're about you're about almost 5 months.
Yeah, consistently, yeah.
Yeah, consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, whenever I started, it was like I'm out almost. This summer will be 2 years for me.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So it's in a lot of it is like, dude, I want to say the first like 2 months was just eating shit on
Oh,
stage.
100%.
And it was just like trying to figure stuff out and like, but then also in this past year and so however many months,
Mm-hmm.
it's just been a lot of like learning what crowds enjoy and then also like looking at comedians like our friend South Philly Reef,
Mm-hmm.
like in Ladon Wiggs and like
Oh man, those guys are fucking.
and like D1 and like just all of our friends and getting
So funny.
feedback. And when you can get that feedback from comedians,
Mhm.
like crowds are gonna laugh and like, but those crowds may or may not be there next week.
True.
So you
Yeah.
might have caught them on that 1 week where they're like, that guy's funny and we're not gonna see him again. But like you see those comedians who have seen you multiple times, like I've seen you multiple times and you get better. And like I see where you get better and I see where you get more comfortable and I see where you take a little bit more risk on a certain bit or you feel more comfortable saying certain things, and just your presence on stage. So if you came to me and you were like, well, how do you think I've been doing? I'm like, I can tell you're doing better. And I remember going up to I think it was LaDon and I was like, dude, like I feel like I'm stuck. He's like, dude, you're progressing. You're doing it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you feel like he's like you're in your own head. So get out of your own head. He's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Pay attention to the crowd because the crowd will respond to you better. Because he's like, Gary, I remember there was times where you struggled to get out 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I just let you have 15 minutes on that stage and you used every second of it. And I didn't even think about it. I was like, fuck.
You're like, shit, was that really 15? Holy fuck.
Yeah, and like I remember my first showcase, it was like 20 minutes. He fucked up the timer and he goes, you did 22 minutes.
Hey, there
I
you go.
was like, what the fuck?
I remember the first showcase I did where it was 15. That felt like a really long time. But once you get a couple of them under your belt, you're like, you said, like, damn, is that the light already? Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, dude. There's been nights where like 5 minutes feel like that.
Mhm.
Like they feel like 3 seconds. I'm like, I don't think I got everything out. And like, I've had mics where like paid gigs where it's like, oh, you're doing 15 minutes, and I'm like, oh, can I have an extra 5 minutes? But I think I can fit something in.
Yeah, some people were chill about it, some people aren't. For those of you listening that are unfamiliar, when we say paid gigs, we don't mean a lot of money.
Yeah. No, it's like $20. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we are super appreciative that it's something,
Yeah.
but I just don't want anybody to get the delusion of grandeur that Gary and I are over here fucking raking it in at this point, keeping the lights on, telling jokes, because that's just not the case. One of us has a day job, but it ain't me.
Like what in like so where I work with a lot of people, and that's been my key work on stuff where like I work with a lot of various different people, and I just tell people jokes at work, and like they're like, Gary's really funny at work. I'm like, yeah, because I'm trying material on you. I'm trying to figure out my open mic, and like, but then I get feedback, and I'll get people who are like, oh, well, hey, Gary, did you see this? I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. You need to pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's about using that stuff to your advantage.
Oh, 100%. Like, I had a buddy come in from Houston Friday night. We went out, and then we met this fucking weird guy. And I'm not going to say too much about the interaction because I got at least one good bit out of it. And I can't wait to drop it. Hopefully tomorrow at State Class. Are you going?
I gotta look at my schedule. I guess the bad thing about being employed is it gets in the way of your comedy career.
Yeah, no shit. Bad thing about being unemployed is that there's not a whole lot of money to be spent. The budget is very low. But I'm still making it work for now. But
I might get fired tomorrow.
Why are you going to get fired tomorrow?
I lied to a customer.
Okay, like what kind of lie are we talking about here?
Not a big lie, but like the company I work for is not forgiving about lying to customers in general. And if I don't get fired, it's gonna be a PP whack.
A PP whack.
Yeah.
So are you gonna spill the deets?
Oh,
Or?
it was just like a
Because
customer.
this isn't gonna come out tomorrow,
Yeah.
so.
I just had a customer who showed up, and they like showed up like 3 minutes before we actually closed our department.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I know we're closed."
Okay, but.
And then they got real mad about it.
Oh.
Because usually, like people, if I'm like, "Hey, we're closed," I'm sorry, like I've got stuff going on.
They'll just say cool, whatever.
No, yeah, whatever. No, these people got mad. Like I was like, "You showed up at 8:58 at night."
Mm-hmm.
And just fucking try again tomorrow.
Yeah, you're just wanting all this other dumb shit.
Yeah, and like I imagine if I would have actually took their order, it would have been like an extra 15 minutes on top of me already getting out late. So, and then I had I had the big boss come and yell at me about it. She didn't yell at me. She was very much like.
Right, you got to talking to.
Yeah, a good talking to. So I imagine tomorrow when I walk in, I'm gonna get a talking to, and I'm just gonna be like, "Yo, they were rude."
Well, shit, dude. That is about our time. Tune in next time to see if Gary still has a job or not.
Woo!
Hopefully he still has a job.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we should have a guest, so we can check that off the box. Hopefully we'll also have some video to throw at you, and depending on how the quality of the sound is on this one, hopefully it's better or fucking just as good as it is now. I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet. We don't have headphones, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. We're super trashy DIY punking this shit out, just doing what we can, spending money in all the wrong places.
Yeah, no, I spent $50 on family for Christmas, and I feel like I shouldn't have.
Like I said, all the wrong places.
Yeah.
So
You know what? Next week I'll show up, or whenever we do this,
Hopefully
I will
soon.
show up with headphones. I will put that on audio.
wait, like 2 pairs or just one for you?
Just one for me. Fuck you.
So you could just give me signals like, hey, too loud, speak
Yeah.
up. Well, I don't know. I'm watching this thing on the computer, and with the voices spiking, it seems to be okay. I mean, I don't know.
I'll be useful. You know what? Christmas is coming up. I might get you some headphones for Christmas.
Above headphones, I'd rather figure out a way to get this fucking video thing going. But we'll figure it out. Anyways, this has been the Basuda Triangle Podcast. I am Jeremiah Red. We're here with Gary Spragg. Thank you, and have a wonderful time.
Bye.